I want to show you today how to begin your next lettering assignment, which is found on your Schoology page in the lettering unit folder. This one is the bill of materials. What I'm going to have you do is take a pre-printed form, as you now see on your screen, and you're going to letter in all of the information found in this document, which again is found on your Schoology page. So you're going to letter from this area of your customer and part information to your name, the date it's assigned, other information needed to complete the activity, as well as all of this information in this pre-printed box for you. I do have an example for you on Schoology from previous years. Here's an example of what it should look like when you're completed. Nice, neat, clean lettering, no extra lines, no super dark construction lines. I did here at the top of the form cover up this person's information just for data privacy reasons. Yet you will still print and letter your name in that box. Okay? So this is what's going to start out with. We're going to take this information and you're going to begin to letter the customer. This customer information comes right off the form. So your customer is Throttle Shift Company. And then you'll letter in the serial number, description. On the opposite side here then you'll letter in the work order number, page, by, this is you. This is where your name goes. The date that it was assigned, drawing number, and the size. And then you'll begin to letter out all the rest of the information in each respective category. Some of the categories are not used, so please review this form to make sure you're not doing more work than you have to. Okay? So what you're going to do here is with your ruler is you're going to lay out your 1/8 inch guidelines. Here's one thing about a bill of materials. Again, going back to our previously completed student activity, you can see that none of the lettering touches any of the pre-printed lines. So you're going to have to lay in your 1/8 inch guidelines to keep your lettering off of the lines I've given you. So whether it's the customer, the item number, quantity, part numbers, or the description, again, please note that none of your lettering will touch the pre-printed lines. And again, you can see which categories that we don't need to fill out. So you can take your ruler with a pencil, lay in your 1/8 inch guidelines with very light construction lines. And if you notice mine, you can faintly see it, and I'll bring it closer to the camera here for you to see. So now you can see my 1/8 inch guidelines. That now is where you're going to letter in the customer number. Again, as we discussed in class, 1/8 inch tall letters should start and stop on your 1/8 inch guidelines. So we have the Throttle Shift Company, and we're going to abbreviate it. So as you can see now, my example, my lettering does not touch the lines. And then I can continue this method for the serial number, description, and other information. To fill out the boxes down here, and I'm actually going to turn my page this way to make it very, very easy for me, I'm going to lay in my ruler, and I'm going to mark that 1/8 inch, and I'm going to do one box at a time, because I know I have to fill in item, quantity, part number. Nothing is lettered in size, and then adjust the description. These 3 boxes, the material, labor, and cost, are not lettered. So I don't even need to go to that area. I'm going to maintain my 1/8 inch spacing, and I'm going to connect my marks and draw very light guidelines. Your guidelines should also be parallel to those pre-printed lines, and you can just faintly see them. And now I begin to letter it in. So my first one here, as my example, and I'm going to center these down each column, is item number 1, quantity of 1, my part number, I don't need to worry about size, and now I fill out my description. Because now I'm writing in a fraction, I'm going to go 3/8. I'm going to keep all of that 1/8 inch tall, -16 by 2 1/4. And there's my first line of text that I have lettered. Again, you can see that none of my lettering is going to touch any of the pre-printed lines. When this is done, I'm going to lightly erase the extra lines that I don't need. Be very careful not to smear and smudge your paper, because neatness is part of CAD drafting, lettering. So just clean up and erase what you don't need. Be very cautious not to get too close to your lettering. As you see what I've done now for mine, you can now see some smudges and smears. So we want to avoid that. So try not to erase very close to your pre-printed text. And if I bring in the other student example, you can now start to see how nice, neat, clean, and straight this work needs to be. So with this activity, please give me your best effort. Give me your style of lettering. If you have any questions, please see me in class. Or if you're working on this at home, take a picture of your work, email it to me, and please ask for feedback. Thank you.